body around your boy.
I don't like no whips and chains, and you can't tie me down. But you can whip your lovin' on me, baby. Whip your lovin' on me.
I'm vanilla, baby. I'll you, but I ain't no killer, baby. She 28, telling me I'm still a baby. I get love in Detroit like Skillet, baby. And the thing about your boy is I don't like no whips and chains, and you can't tie me down. But you can whip your lovin' on me, baby. Whip your lovin' on me. Young MISSIONARY. He's sharp like barbed wire. She stole my heart, then she got archived. I keep it short with a Lord Farquaad. All the girls in the front row, all the girls in the barricade, all the girls have been waiting all day. Let your tongue hang out, everything. If you came with a man, let go of his hand. Everybody in the suite kicking up their feet, stand up, dance. I see you. And all the guys in the back waiting on the next track. Cut your boy a little slack. It's Young Jack. I'm vanilla, baby. I'll you, but I ain't no killer, baby. She 28, telling me I'm still a baby. I get love in Detroit like Skillet, baby. And the thing about your boy is I don't like no whips and chains, and you can't tie me down. But you can whip your lovin' on me. That's right, that's right.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. The intended receiver there, Allen. That'll bring up 2nd down. You talk about this Falcon defense. And they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 15-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
Now a handoff running through the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Here we go. Set, go.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. He'll look to throw.
That is caught. And the Bucs are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. But they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
At the 4-yard line.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw. This is caught. Touchdown. Trey Palmer. His second touchdown on the season.
And the Bucs will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives.
And a pretty poor kick here. It doesn't make it to the land. And that means they'll move the ball out to the 40-yard line.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10 at the 40.
Robinson up the middle. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta. Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball in both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, this defense for the Bucs, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Robinson with another carry.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
49 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game.
Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumble recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. It'll be a gain of just a yard. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. The quick hitter complete. It's Robinson. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. They call it a loss of a yard there. And it'll be 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not one bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. In motion, the tight end. They'll look to throw here. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Falcons respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And now they'll shift things around. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. 7-7, our score after 1. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Let's go.
Now back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad.
Is that what he
would have
hates?
kept it on the ground.
On first down, he'll drop to throw.
Short throw caught by Pitts.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it second down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6. Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
3rd and 3.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Looking to throw.
Here's a screen for Robinson. He's got room at the 30.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They go play action here on first down.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Bucs are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out when they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down. He's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
The Buccaneers hit 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
From just shy of midfield, here's second down at 7.
Now they try the right side here. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll set up to throw.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Falcons force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And complete to Drake London.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And the Falcons first down.
On first and 10, it's Robinson.
He can't get him down. Showed off the footwork, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Second down and 6 now.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right.
Second and 6. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts.
So he stopped for no gain. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Back to throw. Touchdown, Falcons! T. Higgins from 6 yards away. And the Falcons have taken the lead.
Coup for the extra point.
And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
The score, Falcons 14, Buccaneers 7.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Now a 2nd and 10.
They'll drop to throw.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown.
Trey Palmer.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Bucs are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. On play action, they'll throw.
This pass is caught by London.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Caught out left side by Robinson. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Second and 11 now.
Let's go.
The tight end in motion right. 2nd and 11. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Jet sweep. Here's London. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that'll move their lead up to 4 now.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And it's a pretty good return here as they'll get this up to the 29. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway.
Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll... Offensively at the 40-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson.
And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory.
66 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted.
Past the 20, 5, and it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD.
So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the 3rd quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
Extra point right down the middle, and that gives them a 3-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
2nd and 10. A give left side to Robinson. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's 3rd and 3. In motion goes the tight end. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. To about the 40-yard line.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's 2nd and 8. His throw incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He'll drop to throw.
And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he's on to kick it away. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds back near their own 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and a yard.
he's got his man in stride, complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but...
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Here we go. Warriors 70.
2nd and 15.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Stop below 18. Here we go. Shaq, check go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun.
Oh, able to avoid him. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. 1st level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. They'll look to throw. And a dump off here to Robinson. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, They run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
That's out quickly to London. So they say we'll let that completed pass stand, and we'll bring up third down instead as they decline it.
So they're comfortable with the yardage. The big thing to them is what you pointed out, getting it to third down and making the play there.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From here, it would be a 45-yard field goal attempt, certainly in range, but they'll look for more yardage on third down. They'll look to throw here. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. That's Kalijah Cansey in to get him down.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Certainly some pressure here on Younghoe Koo. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. We've seen some big kicks in the NFL the last few years, and that one might just rank right up there.
And you know, you can hear the crowd react, right? But I was focused in on the sideline and watched them absolutely erupt. I don't know how many of them thought that he was actually going to make that kick, but how they felt when the ball went over the post.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 45 yards.
Talk about a momentum shifter right there. Tie game, fourth quarter. These are the plays that win you games. And now defensively, the question becomes, how do you respond?
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 57 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A great play there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers have broken our tie and have taken a fourth quarter lead. Point after try forthcoming. And they will take a 7-point lead now. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Back to throw now on first down.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. They'll look to throw again.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15.
And this is the worry, because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up, and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Bucs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
From the 31, here's 2nd down and 8.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
It's now 3rd and 10.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Fights him off.
The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And it will be Falcon football. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
Looking left side, he's got it, complete.
And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
Ready up.
They'll look to throw. He finds Robinson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
Robinson on a give right side.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry. Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
What a way to wrap up the week. Now a big play. It's third down. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's fourth down.
Here we go, set.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Here we go. First and goal.
Back to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Buccaneers have just about sewn up this football game.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another great play to come away with the football.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll throw again from their own end zone. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end.